A very good evening and thanks for clicking on to edition 28 of the Global Weather and Climate Report. It is a weekly tour of the global extremes that have taken place over the past week, and there is certainly some interesting things happening when it comes to the next few weeks as well. This is actually the temperatures year to date across the planet, and you can see here plenty of warmth and there is plenty of cold pockets as well. Arguably, the warmth is outweighing the cold. You can see that especially across a large swathe of Russia here, Central and Western Europe, also or Central Western Russia, and a good part of Europe is also warmer than average, including the UK and Ireland as well. Areas that have been cold, many parts of Africa actually year to date so far, and that had been the theme during 2022 as well. Australia continuing with the cool theme, Central and Western China, much of India, Pakistan, Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, we've got a warmer Mongolia, Eastern China, and we've got a large swathe of North America seeing a very warm year to date as well. Canada, or should I say Greenland, is colder than average here, and the reason why is because of the warm phase of the Magellan Oscillation promoting, along with other aspects, promoting a positive North Atlantic Oscillation pattern. Year to date, actually, the southwest corner of Europe has been slightly colder than average. You can see that across the very edge of your screen here. Portugal and Spain has been below average. Looking at the GFS, this is the GFS ensembles here. This is the extended here, so the 7-day increments. And without going into details, because I want to specifically look at just the global extremes in this video today, and that's what I tend to try to lean towards in these global weather and climate reports, as opposed to looking at the Magellan Oscillation, stratosphere, and whatnot. I try to do that more in the European outlooks here, but this is interesting what we see taking place here. So the upcoming 7-day period here, we've got cold across much of Alaska, northern portions of North America, western portion of the United States. We've got very warm compared to normal, especially across the eastern half of Canada and the United States. A very, very big difference here compared to what we've seen, see around this time last week. And I'll go into that in a few minutes here. The UK and Ireland maintaining that warm theme, as well as much of Europe. The focus of very cold conditions is across Turkey, Greece, the Balkan region in particular. North Africa has seen cold temperatures also. And notice here that we're starting to see a bit of a warm up across Australia, India, Pakistan, Iran. Places that have had year to date colder than average has quite a warm outlook overall. But I want to draw your attention here. So this is off, like I said, the GFS extended ensemble here. And look at what happens, particularly so across Europe and across North America. As we play through these 7-day increments, you can see the cold air starting to flood North America, and also to an extent across Western and Central Europe. You notice the turnaround taking place here, particularly so into the first week of March. I know it's a long way off. I'm just showing you the models, and I've also explained to you why I think it is likely that the models are now starting to buy in to the overall idea. North America, big turnaround coming up. Look at Eurasia though, very warm, but Europe is turning cold also here. Look at Greenland, very warm compared to normal. Why would that be the case? Because we have strong blocking likely to develop over Greenland and sending Arctic, if not polar air, I suppose that's the same thing really, isn't it, into North America and also into western portions of Europe here. So, like I say, very interesting times to come, I think, when it comes to the overall global hemispheric pattern. Cold across Europe, especially across southeastern portions of Europe at the moment here. we've had some pretty cold temperatures lingering over Iberia and into the southern and central portions of France. We've had some very cold mornings indeed. And when you spread across the central portion of the continent, and particularly so into parts of the southeast of Europe, Turkey, Greece, Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia Herzegovina, all these kind of places have been seeing exceptionally cold temperatures, significant amounts of snowfall as well. And indeed, across the south of the UK, we've been seeing temperatures fairly chilly compared to average. Current temperatures as of recording, and it's a late video tonight, so it's 20 to 7 in the evening. And you notice here that we are starting to lose the cold temperatures across Europe here. So even into this evening, even into the middle portion of the evening now, we've got temperatures way up across Germany, even the western portions of Poland, so to say, sorry. And you see here, even into the southeast of Europe, temperatures are nowhere near as cold as they have been. The UK has been very much a north-south divide. Temperatures today, 13, possibly 14 degrees up in Aberdeenshire. Further south, morning frosts, mild temperatures further north, 10, 11, 12 Celsius during the overnight period across the northern half of the British Isles. Reason why, strong area of high pressure draped across the heart of Europe here. Winds around the top of that area of high pressure have been keeping temperatures very, very mild compared to normal across the northern half of the UK. Underneath clear skies, light winds. Beneath the core of high pressure, temperatures have been rather cold, to say the least, across the south. So let's look at last weekend, because it looks as if, with a wind chill of minus 109 Fahrenheit, yeah, that's right, minus 109 Fahrenheit, regarding Celsius, minus 78.3 Celsius wind chill. What's significant about that is not only is that a record for the Mount Washington station, but which is in New Hampshire, New England, northeast United States. Not only is that a record for this location, it's also, I believe, a new North American record. The temperature also dropped to minus 46 Fahrenheit, which is just slightly shy of the record for this particular location. Sustained winds 102 miles per hour, gusts to 110 miles per hour. Just remarkable, exceptionally extreme conditions being recorded on top of Mount Washington, which I believe is 6,000 and something feet above the surface here. Some of the most extreme weather conditions anywhere on the planet is recorded in this particular location. I believe the world record for wind speed was recorded. I can't remember the year date, but it was well over 200 miles per hour wind speed recorded at this particular location. Montreal also recorded a temperature, the lowest temperature, in fact, since 1994, minus 29.5 Celsius last Saturday morning. In extreme contrast to that, we've seen temperatures in parts of South America, 43.2 Celsius. So remarkable stuff here indeed. Just scrolling through tweets from the previous week, the week just gone, and looking at the extremes here. Ottawa, minus 32.5 Celsius. Quebec City, minus 31.6. Montreal, 29.5. Coldest since 1994. Amazing stuff. Wind chills of minus 53 in Bagotville, which I believe is in Quebec as well. So an extreme surge of tropospheric polar vortex. A piece of that broke off the main vortex, dropped into the northeastern half of the United States, and rotated out into the North Atlantic. It was a very quick hitter, by the way. Literally 48 hours and the temperature rebound back into positive territory once again. So amazing stuff, actually. Really remarkable stuff. Temperatures for the month of January, the extremes have been... So mean temperatures, this is according to our good friend Terry Goose based in Canada. Mean temperatures in one location in Siberia, minus 45.6 Celsius is an average. So that's the second coldest month since 1948 at this particular location, and zero point 0.1 Celsius from the record. So extreme warmth in parts of the northern hemisphere, but also extreme cold. And what's impressive about this is the fact that it is basically the coldest part of the world is seeing near record breaking temperatures, which is quite noteworthy actually, really, when you think about that. Extreme warmth across parts of the United Arab Emirates during on the 7th of February, according to extreme temperatures around the world, 35.8 Celsius. Imagine 35.8 Celsius at this time of the year. Pretty amazing stuff, isn't it? Some impressive rainfall across western portions of Canada. There's a record here, Western Ethiopia, 42.2 Celsius being recorded. We had a temperature down to 0.9 Celsius in Nice in France. That is the coldest temperature at the station since March 1st, 2018, which is quite interesting here. So more records across parts of the Middle East. Heavy snowfall, parts of Lebanon, and some amazing images coming out of Lebanon here. So very, very impressive snow amounts in Lebanon here in the eastern, on the coast of the eastern portion of the Mediterranean Sea, of course. Look at that, there are incredible stuff in the mountains here of Lebanon. So amazing to see that, of course, isn't it? And then if we continue to look through, we had the temperature, by the way, down to minus 31.1 Celsius in Romania at 707 meters above sea level. That is close to a monthly record for cold here. So parts of Turkey, minus 32, Romania, minus 29, or minus 31 actually. Switzerland, minus 27.5, minus 26 in, down into the Black Sea region of Russia. Austria, minus 20, minus 19 in Ukraine. So very, very cold conditions across the southeastern portion of Europe, while it's been very mild across the western portion of Europe here. And I think we're back to, this is an interesting one, by the way. Mount Olympus recorded a minimum temperature of minus 12 Celsius, which is close to the February national record for Cyprus. The record is actually minus 12.6, set back in February 5th, 1997, which is quite interesting. So, one very impressive cold actually in the high elevations of the eastern Mediterranean basin. I think that's us back to square one. So, some pretty big extremes in the last 7 days, of course, across the world. And I will hopefully be back next weekend with another global weather and climate report looking at the extremes coming up. But I'm getting excited with regards to the stratosphere, with regards to the Manchurian oscillation, progressing in the more favourable phases for high latitude blocking. Big test coming up. Let's see if it materialises. And of course, if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for the very latest. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening, your weekend, and I'll see you again hopefully tomorrow with more. Bye for now.